This time on the Montana Barn Find, we head east in search of the story behind a very special 65 GTO. This whole thing actually began at the local cruise night when my friend Brian was telling me about his buddy Joe, who was the original owner of a 1965 Pontiac GTO.
It's all about the connection between car guys. I met this guy, and I know this guy, and this guy has this, and this guy has this. So that's how we find all these cars.
It turns out that Joe actually sold the car in 1968 to his neighbor 4 doors down. The car did stay right there in Chicagoland, but he kind of lost track of it. A few years ago, he decided to see if the car was still around. It actually was, but the estate of that owner wasn't ready to sell it yet. To make a long story short, Joe did get the car back about a year ago, but due to poor storage conditions, the car wasn't in the shape he was hoping for. With a lot of other projects on his plate, he decided to sell the GTO, and that's where I came in. So we all jumped in the truck and headed out on a road trip for the Windy City. The next morning, we met up with our friend Ryan Brutt. He's the automotive archaeologist, and we headed over to Joe's old neighborhood to document this awesome find.
This is the garage where the GTO was stored since '78. The house got sold for taxes. I've been trying to buy the car for years and years, and it was always, oh, Joey, I have to clean the garage out first. I told her I'll never live long enough for you to clean the garage out.
Right.
So she never answered my calls. I talked to her maybe once every 2 years, and finally she was looking for me. When the house got sold, she had to get rid of the cars.
Right.
So that's when we got together finally. Luckily it all came about, and I had to work on the car for a day to get it rolling.
To get it out of the garage?
Yeah, it was flat tires and the wheels were locked up. Finally got it rolling and towed it over to the other garage.
Well, let's go look at it.
We'll go look at that now.
We're walking down the alley with Joe, waiting for him to open up the door because me and Chris both have in our mind what this car is going to look like. You just never know.
Standing in front of that door, the suspense was absolutely killing me. But when he did finally open up the garage, I ran inside like a little kid in a candy store. I looked in the interior, and I really didn't know what to look at. But I did know one thing. I really wanted to see that engine. Let's see under the hood, Joe. This car is just like the song says, 3 deuces and a 4-speed and a 389. Checking out the rest of the car, the exterior was absolutely filthy from the 40 years of storage, but with 54,000 original miles on the clock, there was no surprise that the interior was mint.
What was amazing to me, I ordered it with metallic brakes, and I always wondered about them. Does it still have the shoes on it and all?
The metallic brakes were actually part of a package made specifically for drag racing, which also included 390 gears with safety track and a close ratio 4-speed. The actual body of the car was really in pretty decent shape, especially considering that it lived its whole life in the Midwest humidity. Heck, even my dad gave it his seal of approval.
It's okay. This ain't gone. Some people look for Mopars. I collect Chevys. My son likes Pontiacs, but I put up with it.
While our friend Ryan Brutt photographed the car, Joe took us outside to examine the documentation.
Here's the warranty book with...
In your name?
It's my father's name. I wasn't 21.
Oh, okay.
And there's WS for that motor number.
Nice.
And this is the original window sticker.
What was really cool is Joe had a mountain of paperwork with this thing. Anybody who knows muscle cars knows that paperwork is everything.
Yeah, you can just see underneath there's a cutout. I welded on. You can hardly
Exhaust
see.
cutout?
Yeah, I wanted them kind of tucked away where you couldn't really see them. But here's some times.
US 30.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that was your time slip.
Yeah.
1322 at 91, 1341, 1307. You're getting quicker.
Yeah.
1377.
What slicks on
or
it?
17. 1304.
If I had 7 or 8, as big as slicks I could get on there. And I had to pound the inner fender in a little bit. On the street, I broke an axle one time. Another time I broke the counter shaft on the trans. Both times with slicks.
Oh.
And I took it. I bought a board Pontiac down his Grove. I took it over there, and I'm a young guy. I see what the hell they're doing with the car, so I'm there in the back with the mechanic. Hey, he said, "This your car?" Yeah. He said, "An accident?" No, why? He said, "I see the." He knew what he was talking about. I see where the inner fender was pounded in.
Oh.
He said, "For tire clearance, huh?" I said, "Yeah," but it didn't cost me a dime.
They covered it under warranty.
They covered everything. My buddies with Chevelles, no warranty or racing it.
Huh.
So both times with slicks on the street. Here's a Royal Oak Pontiac.
Okay.
I got a Bobcat kit to put in.
Did he just say Bobcat kit? This car just went from very special to epic. Royal Pontiac was a high-performance dealer based out of Royal Oak, Michigan. They kind of served as a surrogate to the factory to super tune your car. They offered a kit called the Bobcat kit, which was basically some carburetor jetting and some points and some other little things to give it that extra edge. And it made the cars more competitive on the drag strip. Cars that are real Royal Bobcats are very sought after today.
I drove to Royal Oak, Michigan to get the Bobcat kit.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. You know, Buddy and I, we left like midnight and got there, and I was pissed off because they charged me sales tax. If I would have ordered, I wouldn't have had to pay sales tax. Royal Oak.
The card.
Royal Oak Racing Team. Yeah.
There's his card with his name on it.
After the inspection was over and everybody was happy, Joe and I finalized the deal. I think it was at that point that I realized the car was leaving the very same garage with its same stablemate, Joe's first car, a 30 Model A, that they both lived in over 50 years ago. But this time, it would be for good. With Rick behind the wheel, we all pushed the car out of the garage and then up onto the trailer. Then began the task of tying it down for the long journey home. But before we hit the road, Joe had a couple more surprises up his sleeve.
Dylan found a really cool Quaker State can on the shelf while we were in there looking at the car and asked Joe if he'd sell it. And Joe said no, he wanted to keep that. Well, he kind of lightened up to Dylan a little bit over the course of dragging the car out of this place and ended up giving Dylan the Quaker State can.
And Joe had a bonus for me too, his original toolbox that he took with him to the track when he drag raced the GTO. It was really awesome meeting Joe, and as much fun as this hot rod hunt had been, it was time to say goodbye and hit the pavement pointing west.
Look at, if you zoom in, you can see Chris has got a little chubby. We won't use that part.
That's great.
Wow.
Tri-power, Dylan. That's 3 times as good.
Hey, you told me all about it on the way up here. We had 19 hours to talk
Two
about
of
it.
them still in the tag. This one.
Wow, look at that.
They did. I pull out of the alley, you know, when
Go.
I had this car. I pull out of the alley and I get to the end, step on the brake. And
Or GTO.
There was no brake. You'd keep rolling, but the hottest
Allen
car
was never my strong suit. I think it's a neat car. Do your best take out of Chicago accent.
That's about it. Everything from TV is just a little bit exaggerated.
I don't know, if I picture someone from Chicago, I'd say Dan Cianci over here is pretty spot on.
What's that?
Let's do your best take out of your best Chicago accent, Dan.
I don't have a Chicago accent.
You don't have to try, you just gotta talk.
Thanks for watching, and if you dig our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to follow our adventures on the Montana Barn Find.